The word of the day today is stealing. Every time I say the word stealing, a YouTube commenter makes a great observation. In the comment section of my last video, I was called out. And to be honest, I am shocked that it took this long. I thought I was being the most unapologetic, blatant little rascal out here, but it took like a couple months for this to be brought to my attention. Legitimately, I thought the pitchforks and torches were gonna come out immediately, but I got away with this for so long. Today, I'm gonna break all of that down, but before I do, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Dan Frampton, and I stole this intro format from D'Angelo Wallace, but D'Angelo doesn't have the guts to implement a 3-hour gang rule. So, if you comment within the first 3 hours of me uploading this video, you know that I will reply. I'm so excited to make this video, and the longer it went, the more anticipation I felt deep within my bones. Okay, content criminals, let's do some crimes. So here is the channel in question right here. D'Angelo. It's D'Angelo Wallace's second channel. But before we dive into this, let's read the comment that I got here really quick. It says, Dan Frampton stole D'Angelo's new intro, but made it rock. LOL. And I replied to that with an asterisk and was like, nah, I made it better. The call out is true. I have stolen that intro format. But to my credit, I think that I've made it my own. I've made it suit the channel, and I've implemented my own personality into it. So I thought what we would do today is open up one of D'Angelo's videos and kind of break down what he actually does, how it's good, and why I stole from it. And I'm out here with full transparency, so I'm here on my account that I watch videos on, and you can kind of see how many videos I watch or what I watch. So I'm not like a hardcore D'Angelo watcher, not an everydayer type guy. But what this guy is doing on this channel is brilliant. Now right away, off the bat, I'm not stealing his entire aesthetic, his entire vibe, his entire approach to everything going on here. That's not the accusation. The accusation is that I stole his new intro, which is actually 100% true because it does everything so well. So let's pull up one of these intros really quick, break it down. If you're a regular viewer of this channel, you're gonna notice all the things immediately that I yoinked from this guy. So I'm gonna pause and break it down when those moments happen, which is frequently. So if you're not familiar, this is D'Angelo Wallace, and the similarities are gonna happen right away.
If I had to sum up today's entire video in a single word, it would be overreaction. I run the risk of exaggerating here myself, but I'm racking my brain and I genuinely believe this is the biggest overreaction I have ever seen coming from someone attached to a giant Hollywood movie.
Okay, so there it is. There are a couple similarities right there. He doesn't come out with a word of the day like I do. I dress it up like a word of the day type thing, and I have a whole graphic, I make it snappy, and then I make a joke and move on. His word of the day is approached more like, if I were to sum it all up in one thing, it would be this one word here, and here is why. And it's very eloquently worded, you know? Because his whole gimmick is that he's a professor, or at least an intellectual of some sort. And the reason why I like this word of the day right away is because the first 5 seconds of any YouTube video is so important. You wanna grab that audience, you wanna get their attention, and you wanna hook them in some sort of way. And I think summing it all up in one word is a very clever way to do it, but I make it a little bit more snappy because I take the word of the day and then I do like a one-liner or a joke and then just move on with the content. D'Angelo is a little bit more of a yapper when it comes to the very beginning of the video, which is cool. He doesn't have like that fast-paced introduction, that music like I do. I'm way more of an erratic ADD type thing, so me to steal this intellectual thing one-to-one would just seem sort of silly, but the idea of bringing one word and then adding a little bit of editorializing to it, I think is a great way to start a YouTube video. So of course I was gonna be like, yoink, I'll take that right now, thank you very much.
Fan-made movie poster has somehow made its way all the way to NBC News and CNN because one of the actresses featured on the poster for the upcoming movie Wicked called it out and digitally ripped it to shreds, claiming that this is the quote, most offensive thing she's ever seen. So today I thought we'd take a look at the poster in question and see if we can decide for ourselves whether it warranted a response that was so dare I say, intense. But first, welcome. My name is D'Angelo.
All right, so right there, let's break all that down because all of that is directly lifted on my channel too. It starts off with a little bit more editorializing, but you're basically just summing up the situation really quickly so the audience kind of knows what they're getting into. They know what the video is going to be about, where the video is going to go, and the general vibe of it all. I think D'Angelo is a little bit more skilled at this than I am, so it's like, here's the word of the day, here's a joke about the word of the day, here's a synopsis of the drama, but before I get into that, sign on.
And I am your professor of logarithmetic, which is a very real degree that I definitely do have. Or maybe this is just me broadcasting myself, talking in my room like YouTube used to be.
All right, so that part was directly lifted as well, and I wasn't necessarily expecting to keep this part as a part of my act. He says that he's a professor of some made-up thing. I say I'm the originator of some made-up genre, right? You just string a bunch of words together in some comic way, and then you burst that bubble and say, no, that's not actually the truth. He says, I just broadcast myself in my room like YouTube used to be, and I say I make traditional old-fashioned YouTube videos. It's the same principle, just like different words or whatever. And the reason why I didn't really want to keep it as a part of my act is because it is very, very similar and is kind of the smoking gun. It's like this guy just totally ripped off D'Angelo Wallace. And I am the originator of postmodern Malonecore, is what I said yesterday, which I think is what perked up the ears of the person to call me out on this whole thing. Which, fair play. And when I was playing around with not including that as part of the act, I got called out for not doing it. So then I brought it back. But going forward, I don't know if I'm going to be saying that I'm the originator of makeup genre here type thing. It is way too close to what he does and isn't really injecting enough of my own personality into that aspect of it for me to feel good about it. But it was just kind of like a running joke, and now I got called out on it, and I think it's very fun. Good eye, good observation. And the reason why I'm so surprised that it took so long is because it is so similar, and he is so much bigger of a creator than I am, this D'Angelo Wallace character. Anyway, let's see how he continues his introduction.
Today's lecture, I have been straight up flummoxed as I attempt to understand where in the world this actress could possibly be coming from.
And then you guide the audience into what would be the content, the beef of the situation, the meat of the video. And then D'Angelo switches to the second view, which is like the foyer of like some fancy university type building or whatever. In my version of it, it's the equivalent of going from this shot right here to this shot right here. So yeah, the intro all the way up to like the meat of the content, I totally lifted because I thought it was like such a unique and clever way to get the audience from the introduction of a video to the meat and potatoes of the content. And since implementing this intro into my content, retention has actually gone up a little bit. But that's kind of where I left it, and I had an opportunity to even go the next mile, because if we go to how he ends his videos, I could have done something like this, but I held a little bit of restraint.
And that's my take on the situation. Dave's take is that both of the posters are offensive.
So what I would have done in this situation is like, so that's my take, and then Munchie's take is actually something completely different. And I've had Munchie in my content for years and years now, but I didn't go ahead and take this part of the outro. I let him keep that all to himself. But now that it's all out in the open, I might as well include it. So all of that was my take on me being called out. Munchie's take is he thinks that I'm a thief, a liar, a hypocrite, and a no-good scoundrel. So just because I got called out doesn't mean that I'm gonna pivot 180 degrees here. I am gonna be keeping the word of the day. I am gonna be keeping the hi, hello, welcome, my name is Dan Frampton. All of that is staying, okay? And that snappy intro every single time. I might not do the originator of an obscure genre thing every time. I might pull it out when I have like a funny one in mind, but I won't force one out like I have been over the last couple videos, if I'm being honest with you. And hopefully through the journey of this video, you understand that you can criticize me, you can call me out. I'm not infallible. There's nothing overly special about me. I'm not the most unique or original or whatever person in the world. I'm just a guy on the internet making videos because it's fun. Every day I try to get a little bit better at it. Every day I try to grow a little bit more, and it really means so much to me that everybody is here along for the ride with me. It's kind of insane that this channel is where it is at right now. I never thought that we would be here, but here we are with like a little bit of an audience and a little bit of a community and something happening, at least in our little corner of the world, and I think that that is so cool. So thank you so much for watching. Until my next upload, download, watch another upload, take care, and have a good one.